Hello, hello, and welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show. It is that episode, boys. It's episode 69.
Hey.
You have myself, Stretch, and my good friend Jim Jam next to me, now in a comfy chair.
Yeah.
How are you?
All right.
And we still have my very good friend off camera, Tin of the Ribs. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good, good, good. Glad to hear it. Do we have a Jim Jam this time? Man, stat.
Nothing really stood out this week apart from, I don't know, did you know that Newcastle have not conceded a penalty yet?
I did not know that.
They're the only one in the Premier League.
That's a good stat, actually.
You like that one?
Considering you started,
I know.
quite uninspired, I thought
yeah,
that was quite a
it
good
just,
stat, considering.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It was
all
just
right,
one of them. I was like, yeah. Sometimes I get one where it's like, oh, I love that one, but I was like, you know, just as simple as it went.
Especially like this far into the season.
I know, yeah.
Shocking. Anyway. Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 69 of the Sunday League Pundit Show. As we do in part one, we're going to go into this latest week's events. Tim is on his phone, so I'm going to assume he's not texting somebody, and he's on FOTMob. There we go.
Yeah.
Forgot to turn my noise off.
Not as shocked.
Nothing
There's
surprising.
no need for that, right? We've had a difficult week. We'll go into that in part 3, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's no wondering I forgot. Anyway,
I don't know which part to wind you up with first.
right, let's not do that yet. Let's go on to the early part of the week, Tim.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to lose my dummy just yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So let's go into the early bit. What would we like to talk about early in the week?
So there's a choice. We can either go to the Championship or we can go to the Champions League.
Well, which was first? Or were they both on
They
the
were
same
both
night?
at the same time.
Both on Tuesday, of course they were. Well, let's go top of mine, because I'm following them. The top one is Leeds and Watford. So
Okay.
let's go into Leeds-Watford. For those that don't know, before Tin Ribs goes into a mad, angry rant, it was Watford 0, Leeds 4.
Yeah.
They could have
So-
just stopped at 3.
You happy, Bunny? How do you feel about that? They could have stopped at 3 because you guessed 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got that book with me this week, though, so unfortunately we'll have to have that
I actually
on next
think
week.
you went 4-0. And I think you took Pirro
I
to
didn't.
score.
I went 3-1.
Oh, was it?
And I had Pirro to score.
Yeah.
So I did get the Pirro scoring.
So we all got
ironically,
goals.
We all got the goal scorer
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I went Dan James. Can I get double points for Dan James scoring twice?
No.
You could have if you'd have said he's going to score twice.
Yeah. But no, it was a good game. We run riot. We went there, and Watford are not a bad team.
No, not at all.
And we did what we do. And just it was great to see us put on another performance. And if we put that performance on tomorrow night, I will be overjoyed. Because tomorrow night, we have Sunderland.
Yep.
Now, Sunderland were very lucky against us last time. We went there, and yeah, Meslier,
Gave it away.
yeah.
You turned into prime David Raya,
Yeah.
is that what you're telling me?
He turned into prime fucking Onana, mate.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow. I was not trying to be
Yeah.
that offensive.
There's a little meme of him, like, Leeds are 1-0 up going into a game and he throws the ball into a net.
But the thing is, this is the thing, it's like, I've backed Meslier on many occasions, but I do actually have to start with agreeing. If you look at the games and the points that he's cost us, Hull, for example, his hands are above the crossbar. Why is he not catching it or leaving it? Or palm it over, that's fine. Bringing it back into play was just pure stupidity. But he did make, I think, 2 very good saves in this game, and we were solid. It's just, I do think maybe we need a new goalkeeper. I know that sounds stupid, but when we were talking about things to strengthen...
You have, to be fair, in the past, you've always backed him.
Yeah.
Like, you've never slagged him off. So it's just got to a point now where you're noticing more and more errors. So it's...
Yeah, so the problem you've got is he's young. But through experience, you gain knowledge. That's just... The more you play... Why do we send youth to a lower level? Let's look at Ben White, for example. Ben White went down to League One. Then he came to Championship. Then he's in the Premiership and he's playing for Arsenal. And he's doing well.
One of the best right-backs around at the moment.
Yeah, I still think he's
in my opinion
an absolute class centre-back, but Arsenal are using him on the right, which is fine. But I think he's wasted.
I think he fits in really well.
I think it's an Archie Gray situation. Archie Gray filled in at right back last season and did a fantastic job. He's not a right back.
I think Ben White really does work well with Saka though on the right. I do think it works very, very well.
It probably
like
does.
Ashley Cole came through the ranks with us and he was a striker. He was like Arsenal's leading scorer, and Wenger put him left back and he was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I see Ben White like that.
Best left back.
The Archie Gray thing, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, brutally honest with you. The Archie Gray thing pisses me off because if Arsenal had assigned Archie Gray like we should have done, he could now be learning off Thomas Partey and playing as a DM.
Yeah.
Because Archie Gray's a phenomenal defensive midfielder, and in this Arsenal team with Odegaard and Declan Rice, Archie Gray would shine.
Yeah. Well, he's already been dropped today.
Pisses me right off.
He needs it.
He's been phenomenal, even as a centre back.
No, I agree. But when you're playing centre back, and it's not your natural position, and you're forced to play there because they don't have an option, and you're losing week in, week out, you're getting abused. I think he needs a break.
Possibly.
I don't think his performances are not like when Rashford broke through and he chased him down. That challenge was absolutely sensational. But you look at it and go, this kid needs to be nurtured. Leaving him out there for the boo boys and getting abused is not fair. And I think no matter how good he's played, he's filled in out of position. If you've got someone who can fill that position, coming back in, pulling him out, probably the best thing for him. That's my opinion. I just think it's the right move for him, and it's right. I don't actually think it's.
You're possibly right. To be fair, you're possibly right because I mean, we saw with Michael Owen that overusing youths can have
it's horrendous.
A horrific effect on not just their career but their life in general. Because like Owen's life was turned upside down for years, wasn't it, with all the injuries that he had?
Absolutely.
So I get it, but I'd still rather he'd have joined Arsenal and done the right thing and followed the right path and been in the right position.
The way you want it is probably the way I didn't want him to leave, but if he's going to leave, which was inevitable, you sort of have to pick the best path for him. And to go to a club that would nurture and advance him is what I would have wanted.
That's not Tottenham.
No. Every player that Tottenham seemed to buy from the youth, they just destroy. They bought Clark off us, destroyed him. Now he's playing Premier League. Finally, but it took him a long time.
Than it
took him longer. And it was a shame that he got messed up the way he did. Spence, he's having a good time at the moment, but he's only playing through necessity.
Yeah.
He's had a bad attitude going everywhere. He's not fitting anywhere. And I'm actually glad to see that he has fit in a little bit and done well. But again, Tottenham brought him in. He was playing absolutely sensational. Brought him in. They've ruined it.
I'm worried about Archie Gray. I'm not going to lie. Because I don't think they've actually played him as a DM yet, have they?
No, because he's been brought in defensive role.
I just think he'd be so well suited for Arsenal. And yourself that I was talking about him for years before he actually moved. Yeah. And I'm like, I really want Arsenal to have him, and I really want Arsenal to sign him.
To be fair, the whole season he was playing for us, because you knew I was already saying Archie Gray, absolutely brilliant.
Superb.
And I watch a lot of the development games, the under-21s, under-19s. You'll be happy to know Harry Gray has got his first international call-up.
I saw something about that.
Yeah.
I did see something about that.
So Harry Gray's a striker. He had a very nasty injury at the start of the season. It looked like he could potentially be out for the whole season. He's come back, he's played a few games, and he's got a call. He is really good. Again,
it's what you want.
Very much in the vein of his brother, but plays a different position. I'm kind of hoping that he sticks with us, we get promoted, and then in a few years we sort of bring him in.
Yeah, well,
we need a number 9.
Talking about youths and number 9s, I bet Obi's a bit gutted he's gone Man United, hasn't he? Nwaneri's come through, Lewis Skelly's come through, all in his team, and now we've got no striker. So guess what? He'd have probably been on the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because playing our youths has not done us any harm at all.
And at the moment, he's getting nowhere near the pitch.
And Nwaneri's already been touted as one of the best youngsters on the planet at the minute. And to be honest, I don't know whether it's just my bias, but I can see it. I don't think he's the best youngster on the planet, but he's definitely up there.
He's up there.
He's got to be top 5.
He played very well.
He was our best player. 17-year-old kid, and he was our best player. Anyway, we'll get on to that. Yeah. So, Champions League, we had 115 FC. Did really well against.
It's 130.
It's 130, mate. Get with the times.
Yeah, I was going to say, get rid of it.
Haven't they already quashed some, though?
No.
I thought they'd already got rid of some. Okay, 130 FC. Took the lead with Haaland. then Mbappe.
You know, Haaland, who doesn't score against big teams.
Yeah, then Michelangelo
In 2 weeks,
equalised.
he scored against
To
Arsenal.
be fair,
and
it took Real Madrid 60 minutes to get a goal.
Yeah.
So they held him at bay quite well. And then obviously Haaland scored a penalty, and then Diaz and Bellingham just stole the show.
Yep.
And it was another defeat for City, which we are all very happy about. Just so you know, we're all quite pleased about that. I keep looking over there for the camera. It's not. It's over there. I'm lost. We will
New
go.
setup.
We'll go into the new setup and why I'm lost later on.
Yeah.
We'll it will be
But
obvious.
I just
All
want
will be
to reiterate.
revealed.
Apparently, Haaland doesn't score against big teams,
No.
so that means Arsenal and Real Madrid they're just not big teams anymore.
To be fair, you've said that about Mbappe as well,
Yeah, but
and he's scoring a few now.
Yeah, but this season City are shit.
Yeah.
They've gone back to 1980 City.
yeah, but even then, Mbappe still isn't performing to the. You look at how everyone raves about him. Look at the money that people have put into him.
He's no Raul, is he? Let's be honest.
Mate, he can't even shine in Raul's boots.
Raul was. I say Raul because it's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I mentioned him. But he
Ronaldo,
he,
and I mean the Ronaldo, not Cristiano. The Ronaldo.
Yeah, I guessed you were on about R9.
Yeah, R9. So if you want to start.
To be
sort of-
fair,
It's
both would
unfair to
work.
compare anybody to R9, though. In all fairness, because he was
I
ridiculous.
still think. Had he
Even
not-
with a knee injury, he was
yeah,
ridiculous.
you look at how good he was with knee injuries. Imagine if he hadn't had
Oh,
those knee
mate.
injuries. That
honestly.
was the career he would have had.
I know.
The career
It's
he would have
insane.
had. He would have been the best player we have ever seen.
Can you imagine how many
Messi
goals
and
that guy would have
Ronaldo,
got?
Messi and Ronaldo would not shine his boot. The R9 that we
Is-
saw. My hand's going in. Hey.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that. I need to be careful.
I don't know if you lot realise, right, but we're a bit lost this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, it's we are definitely.
Explanations are incoming, but we
But
are
yeah,
a bit
so
lost
it's
this week.
you know, it's like when you look at the levels in which Ronaldo is playing, you look at the money Mbappe's apparently worth. Really?
I mean, to be fair, you're worth what anyone's willing to pay you. So technically, he is
I mean,
worth it.
I'm going to point out how much of a farmers' league PSG were in. So last season,
Are they smashed Brest up?
yeah, but hang on. In his last season at PSG, he played 48 games, scored 44 goals and 10 assists. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So that's quite impressive. Sounds really good. That's a £400 million player, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. He's then gone to Real Madrid, who are in a farmers' league. Let's be honest, it's a farmers' league. Everyone bangs on about, the two biggest clubs in
It's
the world.
not a lot better than the French league, to be fair.
No, it's not. Because once you get outside of Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, you go,
The thing is, though, I think with the likes of Osasuna and all the other teams,
why
that
did I think of Osasuna and you immediately went with Osasuna? That's just weird.
No
That
idea.
actually
Yeah.
freaked me out a little bit.
I could have lived the rest of my life not knowing that we're that
Yeah.
telepathically
Yeah, that
connected.
worried
but,
me.
yeah, but the likes of Osasuna, if you put them up against Brentford, Forest, I mean, you're talking Forest would smash them up.
Yeah.
Brentford would
No,
smash
but
them
this
up.
is my point.
So like the Premier League, as much as I have slagged it off recently, and I do think the top end of the Premier League is a bit shit, the rest of the Premier League, the
It's
teams
strong.
are actually
Yeah.
decent,
So,
Apart
now-
from
so
the
now
team at
let's-
the bottom.
apart from Southampton.
but again, so Real Madrid are the team that should be scoring hundreds of goals. You score hundreds of goals. So when you've played 37 games, 24 goals and 4 assists, well, hang on a minute. You've only got 11 games to go. You're 20 goals behind Paris Saint-Germain levels and 6 goals behind, 6 assists behind. You've only got 11 games left to match that set. So all of a sudden, he's in a farmers' league with the best players in the world, and he's scoring significantly less goals.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie. He isn't looking so fucking good all of a sudden.
It says
People
a lot,
will
doesn't
sit
it?
there and say, oh, but he still scored 24 goals. Okay. But if you put him in the Premier League, is he going to score as many as Haaland? Is he going to score as many as Isaac? Is he going to score as many as Salah?
What team are you
fucking
putting
think
him
so. There's only a few teams that can afford him, let's be honest. City, Liverpool. Liverpool could afford him. Because, as much as I hate to say it, Liverpool actually do have a really good recruitment point.
in?
I mean, you got to think that they'll bang on about, we'd spend no money. Klopp had to spend £542 million to get his first trophy. He spent more money to win his first Premier League than any other manager. So
Yeah.
so Liverpool can bang on about all they like about, Man City spent lots of money, Man City, they bought the league. They had to spend 550 odd million
When
to
they
do
won
so.
the league, didn't they have the world's most expensive defender and goalkeeper?
Oh yeah.
That's one point. So my point is, it's how you look at it. But what you've also got to realise is they offset it a lot. They sold Suarez for nearly 100 million. They sold Coutinho for like 100 million. So their business plan is very good. Liverpool have that financial power. They can afford Mbappe.
Yeah.
Man United, in theory, could, but they won't be able to because they've spent so much money on stupid players.
I think that they're in more trouble than we realise.
Yeah, but you've also got to realise that Manchester United's revenue annually is bigger than Tottenham and Liverpool combined.
Yeah, it
that
is.
Says a lot.
But they waste more than the rest of the Premier League combined. That's the problem.
What I'm saying is their recruitment over the last 10 years is fucking horrendous.
If they tighten up a bit and do what they need to do, then yes, I think they could afford that sort of player without a problem. But they need to start improving what they are doing, because what they are doing is just not working, is it? Like, not even a little bit. But yeah, PSG beat Brest 3-0. I mean, Brest have been superb, haven't they? Let's be honest. They've been great this season. Oh, sorry. And they've
done okay.
They've given us a lot of entertainment.
Yeah.
Only because of Micah Richards.
Yeah.
I mean, that has been.
If it wasn't for Micah Richards, Brest
they've
would not
played.
be...
Have you not watched any of the games?
Yeah, they are good.
They've played really
well.
well.
No, but what I'm saying is the main entertainment point has come from Micah Richards.
Micah Richards has been.
They literally
absolute,
owe him so much money.
The clips that they get off him and Brest is just ridiculous, isn't it? Juventus 2, PSV Eindhoven 1.
That was expected. I'm honest.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a little bit more comfortable for Juve, to be honest.
No, I think PSV are a very.
They're
good
decent,
team.
but I thought Juve.
Juve are not the Juve that we know.
Well, not the Juve of the 90s, that's for sure.
They're not the Juve of the early 2000s or 2010s. This is a Juve that needs some serious rebuild.
Yeah, it does need a bit of work. But they're still a very good team.
They're still Juve.
Obviously, City 2, Real Madrid 3, and then we had Sporting 0 and Dortmund 3.
I expected nothing less.
Yeah, I think I pretty much expected Dortmund to walk that. I thought 2-0, 3-0 would have been about right. Then on the Wednesday, we had the last ever Merseyside derby.
Can we come back to that and get the Champions League out? Because I actually would like to talk about the derby, whereas the Champions League I'm quite happy to do.
Okay, go for it.
Over. So obviously you got Club Brugge beat Atlanta. I was quite surprised by that.
2-1. I had that down as a 1-1. I'm not surprised that one or the other got a winner.
Then you've got Celtic 1, Munich 2.
I'll be honest, I was surprised by that.
Fucking meal of that.
I was quite surprised by that, because I was expecting maybe 6-0.
Munich made such a meal. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh on Celtic, but Villa made a fucking meal of that game, and they still beat them. What was it, 4-1, 4-2?
Oh yeah,
and they made a fucking hard job. They made their own job hard, and they still beat them 4-2. So when Munich only got 2, I was like, Jesus Christ, are you even trying?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I was quite surprised by that. Feyenoord beating AC Milan took me a little bit by surprise.
I had that down as another draw, if I'm honest. I wasn't sure which one would win, but I don't know a huge amount about either of them teams anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, Milan, we all used to know about Milan, but I don't really know a lot about them now. And then the last one?
Monaco lost 1-0 to Benfica with a red card. So that's kind of expected, I'd say.
Yeah.
I would say so.
I also want to very quickly flash on to the rest of the championship. No surprises. Bristol City beat Stoke. Burnley beat Hull. Plymouth, actually this was the one surprise. We'll come back to Plymouth. Sunderland beat Luton. No surprise.
No shot.
Wednesday beat Swansea. Sheffield United beat Middlesbrough. And the Baggies lost 2-0 to Blackburn.
Congrats, Darryl.
What I believe was John Eustace's last game as Burton manager.
Blackburn manager. Yeah.
So we'll come back on to that as a latest topic for yesterday.
Yeah, I had a message about that.
Yeah. However, Plymouth 5-1 against Millwall. I mean, that's some fucking going.
Yeah.
First they beat Liverpool in the FA Cup, and then they go on to absolutely thump Millwall. Well done, Green Army.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, 5-1's a result and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, they're not quite out of relegation, but that's given... I don't think their goal difference is going to make much of a difference. So if I go to the league very quickly, Plymouth are on 28 points, Derby in 22nd are on 29, and Hull are on 30. Cardiff 32. So Plymouth are now putting themselves in a position where, with 16 games to go, they could pull themselves out.
Yeah.
I think they can.
Rooney must be thinking, what is wrong with me?
but their goal difference of -32. The nearest to them down
I
there,
think the thing is you've
Cardiff
just
at
got to look at
-19.
points.
They've got
At that point, you've got no choice but to just look at points.
But 5-1.
Nothing else exists.
5-1, fantastic.
They're already a point behind with their goal difference.
Yeah. So, shall we go on to the big
Right, Merseyside Derby. The last ever Merseyside Derby at Goodison Park before it's torn down to make, I don't know, a shelter for the thieves. So, it was Everton 2, Liverpool 2, which I actually had a bet on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saw that.
Shocked that come through. And there was 3 red cards in the game.
Yeah.
Not during 90 minutes.
Yeah.
No, 102, 102 and 102.
After the game.
Yeah, it was actually after the game.
Mm.
All red cards were after the game. Like, after the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, once the whistle
Yeah.
had gone. I mean, there was a lot of yellow cards during the game. But yeah, we had a goal after 11 minutes with Beto.
Great finish.
Yeah.
And we had a goal after 16 minutes with McAllister.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow card, yellow card, yellow card, yellow card, yellow card.
Oh, it was a feisty affair.
Yellow card. Then Mohamed Salah to make it 2-1 to Liverpool. And then we had Tarkowski scoring...
An absolute screamer.
Yeah.
An absolute screamer.
An
Yeah.
absolute screamer.
An absolute
apparently.
screamer.
To make it 2-2. And there was a lot of moaning and whinging by
Right, so I want
Liverpool
to go into
fans
this. The Liverpool
about
fans,
the fact that it was 96 minutes, but they played 98.
Yeah, but this is where Liverpool fans are showing their true colours.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's all going in their favour, yeah, look at us. Like the handball in the penalty area. If he hasn't hooked that ball round the back of him with his arm,
Yeah.
Beto's through.
Right, okay.
So that was blatant. It was a blatant handball. How it's not given is absolutely beyond me. I genuinely do not understand how it wasn't given because it's fucking clear as day. You've got the foul where Bradley basically is behind. Not better. I forgot his name now. The one who got sent off.
Decore.
He literally takes him out from behind. He's already on a yellow. No second yellow. Okay, so ref still with Liverpool. Yeah. So we've had a second yellow card, not given. We've had a blatant handball, not given. And Braithwaite's goal was ruled offside. Despite the fact there was a goalkeeper and a defender directly in front of him. He was not offside. And that was all within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So within 10 minutes, Everton should have been... Liverpool should have been a man down, a penalty conceded, and a goal. But they didn't get that because the referee didn't give it. So when 2 players go down with a head injury in injury time, and the referee gives them extra time, and they score on it, Liverpool fans are like, oh, conspiracy! Bollocks! Bollocks! The referee was up your fucking arse the entire fucking game. You fucked up. Enjoy.
I think what you need to do is stop holding back. I think you need to tell us how you really feel about it.
No, it's... You know what? As much shit as I've given Everton all
Very
season...
subtle.
As much shit as I've given Everton all season...
And you really have.
I think they... Yeah, I have. I think they
hammered
actually
them.
deserved 3 points from that game.
They probably did.
I think they did. And you know what? It's the last ever major derby for them in that ground. And I think they deserved the 3 points. And I think they were robbed.
You know what? I kind of enjoyed the aftermath and the feistiness of it.
It was fucking beautiful.
That's where the 3 red cards come from,
Yes.
which was Decore, Curtis Jones and Arne Slot.
So
Now, Arne Slot got booked for approaching the referee. Now, when I saw that, when Arne Slot went up and shook his hand, the referee, who was it, Oliver?
it's Oliver.
Oliver.
Yeah, it's Oliver. It's your
it's-
favourite Oliver.
Of course it's Oliver. Like, if any
Yeah.
controversy is going to happen, it's going to be that knobhead. So, the thing is I don't know if you saw the clips of it, but when Slot was shaking his hand, Oliver was already going for the red card before he'd even let go of his hand.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
see his motioning to get...
But
So he
Slot has
clearly said something.
Whatever he said,
Yeah.
Slot has actually stated, I spoke out of turn. So Slot has
Yeah.
owned it. He's actually took ownership of it, which is...
Do you know what? You can't argue with that.
No.
Fair enough.
I'm actually finding I like Slot. He's very honest. He's very open. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I liked Klopp initially. Does anyone become...
Well.
I mean, so he makes stupid excuses. But he doesn't make excuses. He doesn't... Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He knew he'd said
Is he an
something...
imposter?
But he knew he'd said something out of order.
Slot hasn't pissed me off yet, to
No,
be fair.
and that's it. He hasn't talked about the grass being too fucking long or something stupid.
Oh yeah, there is that.
So, but no, it's like
This time.
he literally came out and said the emotions were high. I was already upset. I spoke out of turn. So
Yeah.
he's owned it. He's obviously said something. He's obviously been quite sarcastic. So the handshake was sort of like, "Oh, well done," and the rest been like, "Nah, screw you." Fair play. Decore was inciting problems, so that's a straight red. The only thing Curtis did wrong was get involved. But I understand why he got involved. I think at the end of the day,
He's obviously a Liverpool fan.
No, he is.
It's all
He
the
is.
frustration. He
when
went
someone's-
over, pushed him, instigated the whole ruckus.
yeah, but Decore did it by literally going and inciting like the Liverpool fans.
I'm okay with that.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying I'm like against it, but what I mean is,
You can see why.
all 3 red cards are understandable.
Have you ever seen anybody so happy to have been sent off, though? Because Couture's still running around the pitch after he's been sent off. Like,
I mean, each to their own, really, isn't it?
I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it was great, but no, the aftermath was great. It was feisty. It showed the passion that the players played with. It was nice to see a derby where people actually give a shit.
That's true.
So
That's true.
It was a good game.
I think Oliver was just as bad for both teams, to be fair.
I think he let Liverpool off far too fucking easy.
I think Oliver's shit at his job.
Yeah.
Personally, I think he needs to be struck off. Now, there's one thing I want to bring up from Thursday, which admittedly there's nothing we're interested in on the Thursday because there was no English
Wait,
teams.
there was football on Thursday?
There was the
I think...
charity.
Did Port Vale play on Thursday? I think they
Was
may
it-
have played on
No,
Thursday.
no.
Or was
I'm on
that
about-
Friday?
I'm on about the Conference League, round of 32.
Yeah.
Right, I want to talk about Mulder versus Shamrock Rovers.
All right.
Right, there is a reason.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the story, right? But there's a guy, I don't know if he was subbed on actually. No, he wasn't. I think he started then. Yeah, so he started. They started 16-year-old Noonan. So Noonan
Fucking hell.
started the game at 16, right? He is the youngest goal scorer in that competition's history now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his mom tweeted the next day, literally followed him into school, took a picture of him in school, and went, "This is the goal scorer from last night," as he's walking into school. I'm like, how cool is that? He's just gone over there with Shamrock Rovers, scored the winner, and now he's sat in maths. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy, really, isn't it, when you think about it?
Crazy.
I didn't realise our keeper got man of the match as well.
So yeah, absolutely fair play to Noonan, Michael Noonan, I believe his name is. Yeah, Michael Noonan. Fair play to you, mate. That's absolutely fantastic.
What's going on with Real Betis? Anthony's actually playing well.
Well, they keep saying he got a man of the match, he scored and got assists and stuff like that. But when you go on FOTMob, his first game, he got like a 6 rating. It was like, so I'm kind of like, are they just talking shit? I know he scored and that.
I don't know because he is doing all right. So.
Yeah.
But
He's doing well.
like we say, they're playing. He's playing
tiers.
easier
It's
teams.
tiers.
He's
It's
playing easier teams. He's in an easier European competition,
Yeah. I mean,
and things are just
when
a
you
bit
look
easier.
at the Conference League, I mean, half the teams in here I've never even heard of.
No, I haven't.
There is literally so few teams in here that I look at.
The only reason I wanted to talk about it was just because of that 16-year-old kid, because I thought what he did was fantastic. And I thought what his
brilliant.
mum did was great,
Yeah,
actually.
that's brilliant.
Tweeting the next day going, "This is your goal scorer," going in school. Oh, that was brilliant.
I mean, the Europa League, that's a little bit more interesting. There's some good teams in that.
Yeah, but it's just, there's none of ours,
No,
so
there's no English teams.
sod it.
So,
Friday, we had a great game on Friday. Brighton slapped up Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, they properly slapped them up as well. Because if you look at the stats, total shots for Chelsea, 8. Shots on target?
No.
None. Not one shot on target. That's an Arsenal stat, if ever I've seen it.
It is, because they've got 70% possession as well.
Yeah. So Chelsea, but then again, it shows what is the point of having the ball? Look at today's game. We'll go into that later. We had a game between.
I mean,
our Friday.
when you're talking Friday as well, I mean, I ended up watching the championship game on Friday.
QPR versus Derby. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I mean, QPR...
We might go into that in part 3 as well as to why you started watching a different fucking football team.
So, it was it was 4-0, and Derby started off okay, and then QPR literally slapped them up. And
Were you good?
no,
You're
but
a liar.
but QPR, in all fairness, are on a bit of a roll at the moment.
Yeah, well, the problem is we've got them soon, and it's at Loftus Road, and I'm actually worried about it.
Yeah.
We don't do well in London, and Loftus Road, as we've said, is one of my favourite grounds. I think it's great. It's really tight.
Yeah.
It's you are on the pitch. There's literally fuck all between the front row and the sideline. It's such a
Like the old West Ham Stadium.
Oh, mate,
You're
the
like
atmosphere.
sat on them.
Yeah, it's a fantastic atmosphere. Love the ground, and it is intimidating. And we just don't have good time there. And they have struck quite the bit of form.
They're
and now
doing all right.
They're
recently, aren't they?
trying
It's
to
gonna
push for the
be,
playoffs now.
Yeah.
But what surprised me more is why Eustace left Blackburn, who were in the playoffs,
I think I know.
to go to Derby.
to go to Derby, who were looking like they're going down.
I think
Darryl
so.
sent me a clip.
I'm
of
glad
a
he
tweet,
had.
And the tweet is from Second Tier Podcast, and it says John Eustace has asked for permission to speak to Blackburn Rovers.
So there was some surprise when John Eustace went into Blackburn, because Blackburn have no money, they have no ambition.
Yeah.
Venky's don't care, they just want to churn over profit.
Yeah.
Hence the reason their stadium's fucking empty all the time, because they've got no time for the fans, they don't care for the fans. Venky's are horrendous owners. And it is a shame, because Blackburn are quite a heritage club. And the fact that they are basically owned by chicken farmers who are just trying to leech money is disgusting.
Yeah, well, they're not
So-
owned by Jack anymore, are they? So
No. So the problem you've got there is they've obviously seen John Eustace. He's available. You know, he's not in a job. Let's see what we can do. They've brought him in. Probably promised him you're going to have these funds, these funds, these funds. And he brought in a bunch of players on the cheap early season, but then he sold Smodic, made some profit from
that
Smodic.
wasn't great. I mean, he
Yeah,
was
but-
gonna go, I
Yeah,
think.
but
But
he was going to go. He was always going to go. But they made good money off him. They brought in a bunch of players on free or on low cost and made a good side, and they were very, very good. They had a few injuries. They started dropping down. Performances weren't great, but he was still maintaining, with what he had, a decent side. Then we had the January transfer window. And didn't really bring anyone in. And then all of a sudden, he's looking at leaving. I think he was told he would have funds. He hasn't got the funds. He hasn't been given the funds. And then another club's going, we've got ambition. We've got drive. We might be in League One next season, but look at Birmingham. Look what happened to Birmingham.
Yeah, they've spent some money, serious money.
They've spent wisely. They've brought well, and they are smashing that league. I don't think it's a case of if they win the League One, it's when are they getting the title?
Yeah.
Because they are absolutely running away with it. They're hands down the best team in the league, and I think Derby have said to John Eustace, if you don't keep us up, that's fine, because we're coming straight back up. We will give you the funds. We will make sure you have that funding. And I think he's been promised a better... At the end of the day, it's all good going, oh, well, you know, I'm in a team that are in the playoffs. They're going down. But you've also got to look at... Blackburn are quite happy by looks. The owners are quite happy just middle.
yeah, I mean, fans aren't.
The fans aren't, and they shouldn't be.
But
The fans shouldn't be.
The owners are.
But the owners seem to be.
Yeah.
Whereas Derby, if you've got the choice of sit at a team who are middling and you're never going to achieve anything, or a team that have ambition and drive, where are you going to go?
Well, you're going to want to try, aren't you?
Absolutely.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a break there,
Okay.
and then we will continue this talk in part 2, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do that game thing. I will run out.
Yeah,
of
don't worry about
I'm
it.
not sure if I've got the book this week. Again, we'll go more into
All
that
you need
later.
to do is write the scores down.
I know.
I have written the scores
Fucking
down, I
useless,
just
yeah.
can't remember what the
No.
book is.
No, you just need to write, if we can do the game for next week's predictions.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I can't give the
And
points
double,
from
double.
last week,
No.
though, because I don't know what we've done.
No.
But yeah,
That's fine.
we'll still do it for next week. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to go to break, and it's there again, not over there, and we shall see you, lovely, lovely people, very shortly. Hello, and welcome back from the break to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode
69.
16. Right, we are.
Really creepy pervy.
Well, it's just Jim Jam. Right, so the scores at the minute are 3-6-8-0 Brilliant. So, can you get the results up, please, Tin Ribs, as you've got your phone in your hand?
I can, yes.
So, Watford Leeds.
4-0.
That was 4-0, wasn't it, to Leeds? Tin Ribs had 2-0. Jim had 3-0, and I had 3-1. So I at least had the right amount of goals,
Yes.
just not the right way. So, no points for that. Then we've got Dan James as a goal scorer.
Yep.
Solomon as a goal scorer. And Pirro as a goal scorer. I believe they all scored.
Yeah.
So that's 3 points each.
So that was a pointless
So we
game.
each got 3. What? It's still.
Yeah.
bumped
Well,
the
not a
points
pointless
up.
game. It was a 3-point game.
It was a 3-point game. Then we had Leicester Arsenal, which I guarantee, without looking, nobody got the goal scorer in that. So it was 2-0, which Tin Ribs gets 5 points for. We don't. And nobody got points for the goal scorer because it was Havertz, Gabriel and Trossard. Sorry, I've moved away from the mic. What I will have to do, because obviously Darryl is joining us, I will have to go to... So, Darryl got 3 points because he had Watford 0, Leeds 3 with Dan James as a goal scorer.
Yep.
So Darryl got 3 for that. Darryl. Right, so Arsenal-Leicester, he went 2-1 Arsenal. So he didn't get any points for that. And he went for Havertz. Because none of us realised he was going to be dead at the time.
No one's going to get
But we'll go into that anyway. Saints, what was the score?
3-1.
Yeah.
3-1. Nobody got it right because nobody thought Saints were going to score.
No.
Tim Ribs went 2-0 Bournemouth. Jim went 3-0 Bournemouth. I went 4-0 Bournemouth. And Darryl went 4-0 Bournemouth. Who scored the 3, please?
So we have
Ryan Christie, Ottawara, and Tavernier.
That is what you can now officially call a pointless game. Nobody got anything.
No.
Yeah.
Because nobody got the goal scorers. Nobody got the score
Yeah,
right.
when Clive got the assist, I was like, you could have scored it.
Yeah.
So basically, we all got 3 points in the first game, and Tin got an extra 5. So you got 8, which then puts Tin Ribs on 11. I got 3, which puts me on 11. Jim got 3, which puts him on 9. Darryl got 3, which puts him on 3. So, yeah, week 2. And not brilliant, boys. We must do better, I think the report card says. So, pick me a game, Tin Ribs.
So
this
tomorrow, because we're now Monday night only for a little while.
Okay.
Well, it's what happens when you play the biggest teams. So we've got Sunderland.
So
Monday.
Leeds are now going to be playing the biggest teams.
Yeah.
In the Championship, yeah. So we've got Sunderland this week, and then next week we've got Sheffield.
What, are you at
United.
home?
Yes, we are.
So it's Leeds v Sunderland.
Yes.
Leeds v Sunderland. Okay. I'm going to go for you first, Jim Jam, on this one. Leeds v Sunderland.
Leeds v Sunderland.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to go first. I might as well stick with my usual 3-0 Leeds.
3-0 Leeds for Jim Jam. Okay. 3-0. Tin Ribs.
Sunderland are a good side. We're at home. We haven't conceded in ridiculous amounts of games now, so I'm actually going to continue with the clean sheet, but I'm going to go with 2-0.
2-0.
I don't think we'll run rampant on Sunderland.
Who did you have as goal scorer?
I'm going to go Pirro this
Pirro
time.
again.
Mm.
Goal scorer.
I'm actually going to go with Solomon this time. I've had Dan James 2 weeks in a row, but yeah.
Right, I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. I don't know any of their players, but I might try and guess their goal scorer.
Ooh.
Just to be a bit
If
different.
I was going to go for their goal scorer, I know who I'd go for.
Yeah, sorry, this is really shit listening, isn't it? We should be far more prepared than what we
Oh,
are.
you really should.
So who's their main striker then? I don't even know that.
Isidore.
It's Ahmed.
No, Wilson Isidore.
Wilson. Oh, Isidore. Okay, sorry, I misheard you. Okay, so Wilson Isidore. He's got 11 goals in 20. I might put him down
He's a
then.
good player. He is.
I'm going to go for Isidore then to score. Just to be different.
He would actually be my choice. If someone said to me, who are you taking for Sunderland, I'd be taking this at all. He is good
Okay.
player.
He's going to be my goal scorer then, and I will message Darryl in a bit for his. Game number 2,
So
Jim Jam. Tin Ribs, do you want to go?
Saturday we have Arsenal, West Ham, and Southampton, Brighton. So whichever one you want first.
We'll go for Southampton versus the winners.
I'll go 3-0 Brighton.
Only 3.
You like going your team losing 3-0, don't you? You did that last week. Right, so Jim Jam's going 3-0 Brighton. Who's your goal scorer?
Is it Matoma?
Mitoma, that's not bad shout. Okay. Tin Ribs.
So I'm going to go with 4-0.
Southampton. That's a bit.
Oh, yeah. Brighton.
Obviously. Standard. Goal scorer, please.
And because he's ex-Leeds, I'm going to go with Rutter.
Rutter to score.
Mm.
Okay. Let me just, right, Rutter.
Even though I think Matoma's probably the best.
I am going to go for... I was going to go for something really out there then, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to go for 2-1 Brighton. And I am going to go for Welbeck. Because I think he's been quite good this season.
I like Welbeck.
And again, I'll get Darryl's later. Right, so, last but most definitely least, we've got Arsenal. Strikerless, pointless Arsenal. Versus West Ham. Who's guessing first?
I'll go first.
Tin Rips.
I think it's going to be a tougher game than what the paper says. Whereas everyone's going to be like, Arsenal are going to run away with this. I think West Ham are a very good side. Potter seems to be doing okay with them. I'm going to go with 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1. Don't say it. Don't say it. Go for a normal goal scorer.
Who was you thinking I was going to say?
I just thought you were going to do it to take the piss.
Who?
Marino.
No, I'm going to go with my usual guy.
Gabriel for the header. Although we haven't scored in our last 23 corners.
No, but there's always that moment when.
Gabriel. I am going to go for... I'm going to be respectful. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
And obviously we haven't got any strikers. So I'm going to go for 6-0 Arsenal. No, I'm only joking. I'm going to go for 2-0 Arsenal. I think we're going to fight tooth and nail to get that clean sheet against a fellow London side. And my goal scorer is going to be the irrepressible Nwaneri. I think he's going to come in on his left foot and smash it in the back. So yeah, going to go for Nwaneri. Jim Jam.
I was going to say 3-0 and Nwaneri.
3-0 and Nwaneri.
I was really tempted with Declan Rice.
I was tempted with Nwaneri, but again, I do think Gabriel's quite a...
I mean, he's definitely a goal threat.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Oh, he is.
So it's not like your guess is out there.
No. And if you're going to press them, you're going to get corners.
Yeah, it's not like you're sitting there going, oh yeah, Arsenal are going to win 2-1. David Raya is going to score. That would be a bit crazy. But yeah, so we've got ours. I will message Darryl shortly for his predictions, and we will go into that next week. So, fellas, let's carry on with the week's events.
So we're up to Friday.
We're done Friday.
Yeah, so
we're up
now
to
we're-
yesterday, which would start with special mention: Warrington Rylands 1, Macclesfield FC 3.
So the question is, when are they just going to give Macclesfield the league?
Yeah, I mean, it is getting that way. I mean, Warrington Rylands, we stole their manager at one point, by the way, but they took the lead on 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Then they gave us a pen in the 15th minute, so it's not like they wanted the lead for long. And then we went on to score Trey Pemberton, who, by the way, is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's good.
That guy's fantastic. And then Birgel Meller in the 71st minute. But yeah, special shout out to Trey Pemberton. What a player, by the way. Absolutely phenomenal. So that now leaves...
So Ashton United, technically, are probably the closest to you.
Because they've got 2 games in hand.
Because they've got 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
They have 57 points.
Yeah. Mac have 79, for those that don't know.
Yeah. Mac have 79.
So 12 points clear.
However, have you seen the goal difference?
Well, Ashton are on plus 18.
Yeah.
Just a question, though. You know when you go to maths and stuff and you say 12 points clear? Do you want to actually work that out again?
Oh, yeah, sorry, 22 points clear. They're that far ahead, you forget how good they actually have been this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
That's
my
7
apologies.
wins.
It's 57 and 79. They are 22 points ahead.
That's over 7 wins ahead.
Yeah, and indeed 7 defeats for a team that have lost 3 in 32 games.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen, is it?
It's looking very unlikely, and I will be mortified if Savage leads at the end of the season.
Yes, he's done
Because turns out he is a phenomenal lower league manager. Who'd have thought? He's obviously got some real sway with the players. Yeah. They're really buying into what he's doing. He's obviously fantastic at what he does. Now, whether that will translate when he moves up, and I say when he moves up because we all know he's going to get a bigger job.
Yeah, he will.
It's one of them things.
I just hope he cuts his teeth a little bit more. With
I'd love him to stay at Mac just a little bit longer. Maybe 2 years.
53 goal difference.
Plus 53. They've scored
is,
78 in 32 games and conceded 25. For those that are as bad as maths as I am. So yeah, it's a 53 goal difference. So basically, they've got an extra point because Guiseley, who've got 1 game in hand in second on 57 points, have got plus 20.
Yeah.
And Ashton, who've got 2 games in hand, admittedly, but they're in third. They've got 18 plus 18 goal difference. So Mac have basically got a 23-point lead, given the fact that their goal difference is so good. So yeah, shout out to Mac, absolutely fantastic. And keep it up for the next couple of weeks and you'll win the league. Leicester 0, Arsenal 2, which I have to say, I did overtime on Saturday. And for my overtime, they sent me to Southampton, Amesbury, and Ocado. So I did fucking 15 hours because that was insane. I also got held up in a couple of places. So I missed the whole game. That finished before I'd even finished my shift. I did 10 minutes shy of 15 hours on Saturday.
Now, I have to say something. Now, obviously, you were struggling to put the ball in the back of a net, and obviously, you had no options on the bench.
We did have an option.
So he threw on Marino and played him up front. And I'm sorry, you hate it, but that first goal, he was obviously, he was up front, he was watching his line, he was making sure he was onside. His movement was absolutely superb.
He was a better striker than Havertz has been.
Yeah.
I admit
he
it was
finished
just a cameo.
And obviously, so that all I can say with his first goal, wow, his movement was insane. To stay onside and actually, he made that happen. And obviously, Nanieri put in a great ball. Now, the second goal, cracking finish.
I haven't actually seen that yet. I haven't seen the highlights.
It was just crossed in, and he just left foot low, past keeper. What you'd want your striker to do.
Yeah, I mean, if we had one.
To be fair, he did a good job.
If he's going to continue in that vein, then great.
And he did his little corner flag celebration.
Are you going to have a go in for it in his boom arm? Because that wasn't me then. That was him.
I know.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Yeah. Annoying people, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not happy it's one of Arteta's mates that's come on and done it. But if he's going to come on and play well, then I'm all for it. I like players playing well in an Arsenal shirt. Like, don't get me wrong.
So Arteta's substitutions were quite good.
They work quite well. I mean, Calafiori, I like Calafiori anyway. Tierney, I am a bit gutted he's going at the end of the season, but he is very injury prone. But personally, I think he's a fantastic footballer.
Yeah.
I think Tierney's a great player. But yeah, I mean, he's a long way to go. You know, he's no Thierry Henry, but the first one I have seen, and that was a great header. It was fantastic, and his movement, like you say, was very good. And if that's
to stay on side,
that natural instinct that he's got, then that's going to be bloody useful for us up front.
Yeah.
Like, really, really useful, because that ability to read the line and stay with it isn't natural to a lot of people.
I wouldn't have put him up front.
Well, apparently Calafiori is the one that they've been training with
Yeah.
as a striker.
Interesting.
I would
I'm not sure where that comes from. I know Marino has played up front before for, was it Sociedad? He played up front for Sociedad a couple of times. So it's not completely alien to him, but obviously it's definitely not natural, although it looked quite natural on some of the plays that we had. Like I say, anyone that can read a line as they're on side is worth sticking up front anyway.
I mean, the substitution I would have probably made is I was more thinking, you bring on a Tierney or a Calafiori and you start playing them at left back and you move Lewis Skelly and get him more further up the pitch to take the place of of Sterling, who was fucking garbage.
Sterling's awful, isn't he?
He was dreadful.
It's not even that he is now.
Yeah.
There's no good play in Sterling at all. You haven't liked him for a while, have you?
But
then, to be fair, there was times where England were going to World Cups and Euros, and everyone's lauding him. I'm like, he's the worst fucking player at the
finished.
Euros. He's
I've
been
not
shite.
I've been saying
I know you haven't. You've not been a big fan of his. Like, for me, he was great when he was at Liverpool. I thought he was a fantastic player. And he had so much potential. He was so quick. And his decision-making was quite good at the time. But something happened when he moved to City. Gone. I don't know whether it was what Pep was asking him to do that just screwed him over or what. But it completely changed him as a player. And he just became something that wasn't that great. Anyway, we have another game on Saturday.
we had
We had another important game for us on Saturday, which was Southampton v Bournemouth. Would you like to talk us through your very bad defeat?
They scored, then they scored again, and then I turned it off.
I mean, to be fair, they scored in the 14th and 16th minute, so that wasn't going to bode well, was it? I bet you were thinking this is going to be 8. Did you think that was going to be your next 9-0?
No, I did get nervous that we were going to get hammered. So, and then obviously we scored late on, and I thought, can we, pinch a draw or something like against the odds? And it just didn't happen because
11
they.
minutes later,
No.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when it popped up, I didn't watch it, but when it popped up on my phone on FOTMob, I was like, they've got one back here, maybe there's a bit of fight in them.
I looked at the starting lineup and was a bit. What's he doing?
You know when someone's dead and rigor mortis starts setting in and they sort of like twitch.
Wow.
That was the twitch.
Wow.
This team at the moment is getting relegated.
It has been for a couple of months, to be fair. You're going for the long relegation, though, aren't you? Like, we want to stamp our relegation early.
I mean,
they
don't even want those 2 points to like equal Derby's old school.
I was going to say, at the moment, I'm like, whoa, I'm not optimistic for next season.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's pretty
No.
dire.
I'm going to word it like this. You are getting relegated. Let's not beat around the bush. But the first thing that's going to happen is Aaron Ramsdale's going to do his thing. I've been relegated again. Jump ship.
Right, yeah,
So
I'm not having you blaming Aaron Ramsdale for this relegation.
No, but he does tend to go to teams that need a goalkeeper and then get relegated. So, I'm not wrong.
You are wrong. It's because Arteta's fucked him over.
No.
Because if we'd have done the right thing and kept the actual goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale, we would have been in a better position than we are. And potentially would have won the league. The first season David Raya decided to do his Flappy Bird impression at every fucking ground in the country and lose us like at least 11 points by himself, then we'd have probably won the league if we'd have kept Aaron Ramsdale like we should have done.
Well,
so no, I won't let you like Ramsdale off.
But Ramsdale will jump ship.
Of course he will, because
and
he's worth
hopefully
it.
he's at Leeds next season because we have a defence. Anyway.
Did he just say he wants Leeds to sign Aaron Ramsdale?
Yeah.
After slagging him off? Like
Saying he's a relegation keeper.
Wow. I hope you do sign him now, and I hope he single-handedly throws the ball in the net at least 30 times and you get relegated.
It would be funny, wouldn't it?
It
After
would.
he makes that comment, they
Brilliant.
sign him and Leeds get relegated.
So
Wow.
Ramsdale is going to go. So they'll make 20 million on him. Carl Walker-Peters will definitely go.
Well, he's on free
He-
transfer anyway, so
Yeah,
he's
he's
gone.
He's
player
a
as well.
huge chunk out your wages.
Yeah.
And financial fair play, wages. So it's like at the moment Leeds, we made an absolute fuck ton of money, but the likes of having Bamford on a fucking card just chews up so much.
Isn't
of
he
it.
like a millionaire anyway without
Yeah,
football?
but it's
Like,
irrelevant.
why does he need so much more?
But he's
Don't be a prick.
chewing up such a huge part of our wage structure. So he's going to be going. Tyler Harwood-Bellis, I'm pretty sure he'll go. I'm pretty sure someone's going to pick him up.
He
hasn't
might
been
not.
great, but
He
I don't-
might not. He might. He could stay. He might give us a year.
Possibly. Diblin is gone. Let's be honest. Diblin is gone. Someone
I just
will
hope that
take
he
it.
goes somewhere where they're not going to waste him, because
Me too.
there's still a lot of nurturing there.
Mm.
And to be honest, he'd benefit for a year in the Championship.
He probably would.
It won't happen.
I don't think it'll happen. I think he's going. I'd love him at Leeds. I rate him. I really rate him. But he's going to go. So there's more money. And he's homegrown. So all your profit is all pure profit.
Mhm.
You're going to get considerable money for him.
Yeah.
Then you've got Cameron Archer, which I think we're still pursuing him. I think we want Cameron Archer, and I think we will do what it takes to get him.
Do you want Cameron Archer?
No. If we go when we
God,
get,
that's another one he's going to be moaning.
I'd have had him in the Championship definitely.
Mm.
If we're going to go up for the Premiership and the 49ers have the ambition that they claim and the way that it's looking, I want us to have a real number 9. As someone who is proven, I want someone who scores goals. Even if it's in another country, I want someone who's going to put the ball in the back of the net. I don't think Archer at the moment is that striker.
Okay.
But just going on those 4 players that I mentioned alone, leaving, financially you are going to be in a strong position. You're going to have other players that go, players that you'll fuck off because they're out of contract or you want to get offload them. I don't think, looking at the team you've got now and what you've got next season, are anything remotely the same. They're going to be completely different. It's going to be a completely different Southampton. So saying that you've already ruled out for next season, I don't think is the case. There's a lot of teams that come down, restructure, and are just as strong.
Yeah. I
So,
I
for
don't
example,
disagree. I think you've got a good
in
shot
fact-
next season
In
of
fact,
going
I'm
on.
going to use Leeds as the best example. We didn't make it last season. We sold pretty much the people who identified as our best players,
Yeah.
brought in new players, and we're doing better.
I mean, not everybody's got your scouting nowhere though, have they? Because I don't know what your scouts are on, but Jesus Christ.
Until the
I wouldn't mind
49ers took over, our scouting network was horrendous.
Well, it's pretty good now. Who's that? Is it Japanese international we've got? What's his name?
Oh, Tanaka, mate.
What a player he is,
3.2
man.
million.
Jesus.
3.2 million. He is
Jesus
phenomenal.
Christ. I bet that would have been 11 million if Arsenal had gone for him, you know.
No, we
Oh, it will-
exploited the fact that they were absolutely cash strapped, and we exploited it.
Oh, they took advantage of
What a player
a
that
team.
guy is, though.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we did.
we're pushing on, so we'll go through. We had Villa 1, Ipswich 1. Now, Ipswich had a player sent off before any goals went in.
Yeah.
Still scored first, and then Villa were left scrambling, and Watkins scored in the 69th minute. So that
I mean,
wasn't
Delap,
a great game.
10
for Villa.
goals this season.
They're
Delap.
now
Lucky.
ninth, by the way.
He's the. So you're on about strikers? that
I'd
I
buy
want us
him.
to buy? I
Yeah.
want us to buy Delap.
I'd buy Delap. For
Delap.
Arsenal, I'd buy him.
No, but I want him at Leeds.
You can fuck off.
When
You've
they
got
go
enough.
down,
You can,
he's
no.
the player. He's the number 9. I think we should go for.
Well, I think we should go for him because we need a fucking number 9.
I
Although
don't think-
we've signed 2 players for
If.
the summer.
both midfielders, aren't they?
Both fucking midfielders. What a waste of time. Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 1. That for me was a bit of a shock because I thought Forest were going to win that.
I did as well. I mean, I know Fulham have done well this season, but
They
I
have done
still
well, but
thought that
Forest have been
Forest would have
superb.
done enough.
But 2-1 to Fulham. Fair play to Fulham. Now, Man City Newcastle shocked me a lot and pissed me off a little bit
I didn't
because
think Man City would roll them the way they did.
Newcastle gave up against City and they battered Arsenal twice.
Yeah.
And they've then just gone and rolled over and bloody Marmouche, or whatever his fucking name is,
Yeah.
scores a hat-trick in, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Killed the game off.
I destroyed it. It was
I didn't
gone.
see it happening.
No,
No.
I don't think anybody saw that coming. Then we had Southampton. West Ham 0, Brentford 1. We've all said it all season. Brentford are a decent side, and it doesn't matter how
And
good
they've got a
West
great-
Ham
they've got a
are,
great coach.
Not
or how good West Ham have been.
West Ham are not a good side. They're probably quite lucky that
transition,
they've got
isn't
the points that they've got.
No, I think they've got a good foundation. They've got a very good coach now. I think there's going to be a transitional point.
Yeah, of course.
Not to say you drove him into the ground.
At the end of the day, they're not going down, so they've got time to rebuild and go
But
again.
I mean, he
haven't they?
bought Ward-Prowse back, and he bought. him off
Uh,
the
did
bench
he-
and
He played the other
Did
night.
he bring him back, or did he get sent back by Nottingham Forest?
The way it was worded in the thing that I read, that he was called.
It sounded more like I thought it was like Forest have sent him back
I don't.
because he's not been playing for
I don't.
Forest.
Obviously, they're trying new things. They brought in Ferguson. Their second half, they brought
Well, then-
him on. They brought Prowse on. They did what he's in a transition point and he's working his way through things. So, with that said, I don't think West Ham are anywhere near as bad. Don't do that again. That was horrible in my ear.
Oh, was it the put
No,
down?
No, it's the grinding on the microphone.
Oh. Whoops.
Then the last one was Crystal Palace 1, Everton 2.
Well,
I have to hold my hands up at this point and go, Dyche is not the manager I thought he was.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I've backed him for a long, long, long time.
Hold your
And-
dope head.
And David Moyes is the manager
And
that
Moyes
we've been
has just
saying
come
he
in and-
is.
Moyes has just come in and made a massive...
West
I do
Ham
think David Moyes is
fucked
good.
up big
Is
time
good.
letting him go.
Yeah.
I think that was crazy.
Yeah.
It's just won you a European trophy. What are you getting rid of him
Yeah.
for?
David Moyes is a very, very good coach.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm kind of annoyed that Charlie Alcaraz scored for Everton as well because we
Yeah,
sold
80th
him because he but obviously
Fuck, anyone would
Russell
think you were
Martin
struggling for
didn't.
goals. You've scored 19 in 25 games. Oh dear, yeah,
Painful.
it's not good, is it? It's not good. And to see your ex-players scoring is even worse. But Everton are now on 30 points; they're safe. United are on 29, and albeit they have just been beaten by Tottenham 1-0. Which, let's face it, is fucking embarrassing for anybody to get beat by Tottenham. Madison scored in what, the 13th minute or something,
Something
23rd
like
minute or
that,
something
yeah.
like that. Scored fairly early, and then the game just sort of petered out and finished 1-0 to Tottenham. So Tottenham are now on 30. I think they're out of the relegation battle now. Palace 30, Everton 30, United 29, West Ham 27. Would we say that they're pretty much safe? So it's one of the bottom four, isn't it? Wolves, Ipswich, Leicester. Well, you're down. So it's Leicester, Ipswich, or Wolves to take the last two spots.
Yeah,
I mean,
And
as long as Wolves have got Cunha, they've got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, they were
I think that's the thing. But
They
then
were a little
Ipswich
bit
have got
unlucky.
Delap. So
they were a little bit unlucky about their loss to Wolves, Liverpool today.
that was
Yeah.
very unlucky.
Yeah, they weren't
We actually sat and watched
totally
that game.
outclassed.
Yeah,
We were at we'd got our own football game on, and then after we'd played a football match, we then went to the pub and watched it. So we did watch the whole
Yeah.
of that. Yeah, Wolves were very, very unlucky
Yeah,
against them.
I don't think Wolves were overly outplayed. So
No.
I
with
think they
that said-
deserved the point.
Yeah.
I do think they deserve the point. But then it goes back to what I've been saying all season long. Liverpool might be at the top, but they've not been convincing.
Yeah.
They've been far from convincing.
but they're getting the
And,
results.
yeah, but at some
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
them
yeah,
wheels are
results.
going to come off. That can't last all season.
We're running out of games for
Yeah.
this
There's
wheels
only
to
11
fall off.
games. There's 11 games. You're not going to get lucky for 38 games. This is what I'm saying.
Liverpool
So
are winning that
eventually-
league.
No, I fucking hope not. I don't even care if it's Forest that win it, as long as it's not
I would
fucking Liverpool.
love for Forest to win it.
I wouldn't say I'd love it. I'd love it if Arsenal won it, but I can't see that happening because
No.
we haven't
I
got a
can't-
striker and all.
I'd like to see a new name on that trophy list.
Yeah. Maybe. I wouldn't be dead against it because at least it means Liverpool haven't won it. Right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to break now, and then we will come back with our lives and our
Yeah.
shit
Yes.
and our moans and our annoyances. So we shall see you lovely, lovely people very shortly. Hello, and welcome to part 3 of the Sunday League Pundit Show. Yeah, I do need to look at the camera. You're right. He's pointing at the camera going, stop looking at the screen. The camera's over it. Yeah, sorry. Welcome back to part 3, Sunday League Pundit Show, episode
69.
69. I do that because I know he's saying it. Right, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our personal lives a little bit more. So I think this week in particular, it's probably on me to do some explaining because this podcast has been an absolute fucking shambles. Setting it up has been a nightmare. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. Everything's all over the place, and I have to hold my hands up and take the blame. Now, the reason I have to take the blame is because I, during the course of last week, the last 7 days, have left my lady of nearly 9 years. We are no longer living together. We are no longer in a relationship. And where I'm currently residing, I can't host the podcast. So we are in Tin Rib's house, which explains the absolute shambles it's been this week. Not because his place there's anything wrong with it. We just didn't know what we're doing, and we've only just set it up today.
As we've only just got in, and
basically, we just haven't had a chance to come in and set it up properly and get it all looking nice or whatever. So we've done the best we can. So we're hoping for the people on YouTube. I'm really struggling actually with RSS to get the audio only up. So I think I'm going to have to leave RSS and go with a different podcasting host. So I'm going to have to do some research this coming week to get the audio only back up so that the audio listeners will get this podcast again. But RSS is just not letting me upload the files anymore. I don't understand why. I don't know what's changed with it or whatever, but I'll have to cancel the payment to RSS and go with a different one. Anyway, so so the reason we're different, and obviously Jim Jam sat like King Dick over there in a massive
chat,
a huge armchair, is because we're at Tin Ribs and we are no longer able to record in the shed ever again. So episode 68 was the last ever recorded in the shed, in the gym. That's now a thing of the past. So so I have to hold my hands up. That's my fault. I've split up my lady and we are no longer together. Comments, questions? Anything you want to know?
I don't know. We kind of know everything. That's the difference. We know everything.
I think you're a selfish bastard and has deprived us of a perfectly good recording studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm going to have to pull my thumb out and convert my garage into a frigging studio.
Oh, which initially, by the way, 69 fucking weeks ago, we
Was
were told he was going to do. So we've already been waiting nearly 70 weeks for him to get this, and I quote, perfect space sorted for the podcast. So all it's done is it's made him pull his finger out of his ass and do it. I say a little bit quicker, but you're not going to do it much. It's not going to be done any slower, is it? Let's be honest. So I actually blame you for this because we should have been in that recording studio, an actual what would be a proper recording studio, by the way, fully set up and good to go. What? Give him 9 weeks? Should have been 60 weeks ago. Yeah, you can put your phone down. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you can stop looking like that. It's your fault. So I'm not taking the blame for that, but I will take the blame for the fact that we're not in the shed because it's my fault for basically walking out on my other half. Now,
we're doing well.
For those,
relationships are going well on this.
We're doing well. He was miserable a little while ago and has finally met someone that he likes. So we've actually met today. We have met Tin Ribs.
Yeah, we have
today.
She's great. She takes the piss out of him as much as we do.
She's basically just one of us, isn't she?
Yeah.
Really, it's great. She's lovely. She's very nice, Tin Ribs, and I think she's far too good for you.
Yes. I'm definitely punching.
Yeah.
Definitely punching. And if you keep bullying her, I don't doubt that she'll fucking punch you and all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past her. But yeah, she's lovely. So you splitting up with your lady.
Yep.
And you've got your house to yourself.
Not yet.
You've nearly got your house
I've
to
nearly
yourself.
got my house to myself.
So within the next couple of weeks, you'll have your house to yourself.
Yeah.
I am
homeless bum.
Currently homeless, I suppose. I never really thought about it like that. Because I've just got somewhere to go.
Yeah.
I don't really think of myself as homeless, but technically I'm homeless.
You are homeless.
Yeah. I am actually a hobo.
Whee!
Wow.
Hey.
Hobo Rick.
That's fucking depressing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think about it like that. But it's one of them things. I would go into the whys and the wherefores, but I don't think there's any women listening. And I think it's women that need fucking telling as to what the issue was. But yeah, it's just one of them things. We didn't work out. I've been unhappy for a little while, maybe 3 or 4 years. I say a little while, it's quite a long while, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you find, though, I mean, I'm talking from my own experience here as well,
Okay.
that while you were there and in the relationship, now you're saying I've been unhappy for like 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did you actually realise you were unhappy for that period
Yes.
of time while you were actually
Yes.
in it? Because I had, like, when I split up with my ex, I realised I was actually unhappy for like 3 years. But I didn't realise that until a little while after, when I look back and go, actually, you know what? I wasn't actually happy there. Does that make sense?
Right. I will go into it then
Yeah.
to explain as to how I knew that I was unhappy. Right. It all comes down to
If you say you got fat, you're full of shit, and that's just you being
I've
fat.
been fat for fucking long enough now for that not to be. I was fat when I met her, so that's definitely not a thing. I got fat just before I met her, actually, about 10 years ago. But anyway, so you know that I knew I was unhappy, and I sat her down so many times to tell her what the problem was. I sat her down so many times to say I am really unhappy, and this would make a difference. And it never, ever changed anything.
Yeah.
Right now, as a guy in a relationship, you want certain things. Okay, so you want to know that you can be safe in the knowledge that you can go and work 12, 13, 14 hours a day and not worry about what your woman's doing.
Yeah.
I was never worried about what she was doing.
Yeah.
I trusted her wholeheartedly within the relationship. Never thought there'd be anybody else. Never crossed my mind. Which, by the way, there wasn't. There was no cheating involved in any of this. So that was nice. Right?
Yeah.
What else do guys want? Guys want to be looked after. Let's be fucking honest about it. Guys want to be looked after.
Yeah.
They want their lady to not necessarily cook for them. I don't mind doing the cooking. I've not got a problem with that. So I don't want to be cooked for and cleaned and all this sort of shit. I'm not asking for that. But you want to be looked after in an emotional sense. You know, when you come in, you've had a bit of a long day, you've had a bit of a hard day. You want your lady to come in, sit next to you. You want to curl up with her. Do you know what I mean? And you want her to, you want to feel like she gives a shit about what you're going through.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. There was no intimacy at all. And by that, I don't just mean sex, although that was a fucking problem. We'll go into that in a minute. That was a problem. But I mean intimacy as in you sit on the sofa, you're together, you're hugging, you're just chatting absolute bullshit while you're watching a film. Just in each other's
That's a normal
company.
conversation for you, isn't it?
Absolutely. But you just sat on the sofa in each other's company, just watching nothing on telly. Just together. We never sat together on the sofa. Ever. There was none of that. Ever done. As for actual important intimacy, when you go upstairs, right, not like once every couple of months. And I sat down so many times. I'm like, this is pissing me off. Like, this is not enough for me. I need more.
Yeah.
I have to have more.
Yeah.
And rather than going, well, we've been together 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 8.5 years, I'm going to make some effort. It was like an instant response, like, you're attacking me, you need to go and find somebody else. And I'm like, there's only so many fucking times you'll tell me that before I just go.
Yeah.
Well, you can go and find somebody else. I don't fucking want anybody else. Women are hard work. Right? I can't be arsed starting again. That's not something I'm doing. I am not meeting somebody brand new and starting again.
No.
Not a prayer. Because I'm not going through all the bullshit. Learning about somebody. What do they like? What do they not like? What can you say about them? What can you not? Have they got any exes that you can't talk about? Or there's certain subjects that you can't break? Can't be arsed with any of that shit. Don't want to learn any of that. Not interested. So I'd rather stay on my own or maybe go a different route. But that's not something I'm prepared to go into at the moment. But the amount of times
He's joining a monastery.
That
Sorry,
tried,
yeah.
they threw me out long before because, like, as I went to open the door, my hand set on fire.
Yeah.
So I had to pull it away. But yeah, so I sat down so many times. I'm like, this is a problem. I need this, I need this, I need this. And the thing is, the things that I asked for in a relationship, the sitting together, the more time,
Yeah.
you know, the more fun time, it doesn't cost anything. It's not that big a fucking effort for a woman anyway. Let's be honest. Women don't put that much effort in the bedroom. Let's be fair. For the most part. Now, I'm not saying this is a universal thing. For the most part, women don't have to put that much effort when it comes to being in bed.
Yeah.
And I just didn't get that effort. So I'm like, well, I am fucking miserable. And it just got to a point where I'm like, I've had enough and I'm going to have to go. I don't want to throw away 8.5 years, but I also don't want to be unhappy for another 8.5 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is.
That's understandable.
So I decided that I was going to cut ties. And to be honest, she wasn't exactly mortified when I did start moving my stuff out. Like, do you know what I mean? So obviously she was unhappy as well.
Yeah. You probably both just done each other a favour.
I think so. I don't hate the woman. I've got nothing against her. She started being a bit funny with me today, but...
Yeah, but that's because you took your little girl back. You started acting like a dick.
Yeah, but she is a melt, but you've got to get on top of her verbally and shout at her and tell her you're not to do that. You've got to do this.
Yeah.
And I was nearly said a name then. My ex is not the sort to start screaming and shouting and trying to, get control of the kids. Whereas my little and Daisy, who's 5, you need to control her because she'll fucking run you ragged if you don't.
Because 5-year-olds are vile.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are not. Like Zach, when he was 5, was a piece of piss. Like, he was round here a couple of times when we were on Bandit, and you tell he was over there, he just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He just sat there and just wanted my attention.
Yeah, some days,
But
they are great.
Daisy, fucking hell. Even Beelzebub would kick her out. Fuck, get rid of that one. She's a fucking pain in the arse. So I've said to her, like, because I took her back after the football, because I took her to the pub after the football.
Yeah.
So everyone knows we sat there. She went and she played with another couple of kids there, and she's getting all excited and whatever. And I took her back, and then I was getting messages saying, "Oh, she's kicking off and she's not behaving." Well, fucking shout at her then. Shout at her. Tell her you need to sort yourself out. Or you go in bed, but don't threaten her with bedtime and then not do it. Yeah. You threaten her, you'll get sent to your room, and then if she carries on, you fucking take her to her room. It's the only way she'll learn. You don't have to be nasty or hit her or any of that sort of shit. You just tell her, behave or you go into your room. And if she don't behave, you take her upstairs. Yeah. Just go, right, come on, up with you. Go to your bed. And it's simple, but my ex is just not the sort to be... I mean, she's quite inoffensive anyway. She's not very aggressive or...
Assertive.
Yeah, not really. Only when she's saying no. It's the only time she's ever fucking assertive. But yeah, she's not that sort of person. So she will struggle to do that, but if she struggles too much, Daisy will fucking run her ragged. But yeah, she'll soon learn. So yeah, there's my shit out in the open now and aired. And I did say last week I'd probably go more into it this week because I had a sneaking suspicion that I would end up walking out. Things would be the way they are now. So yeah. What about you two? Anything new this week? Other than the fact that we've actually met your new lady now.
Yes. No, I'm still settling into my new job. Everything's pretty much hunky-dory for me. Obviously, a slight bit of stress with the whole organising of today.
Do you want to go into that a little bit then?
Yeah, so I do a lot of coaching on the side, and I help out with a local academy with the girls' teams. And one of the girls' teams' parents and coaches are doing a veterans team. And they know that we play on a Friday night. And I was approached about the concept and idea of doing a friendly. And as we all know, our lot just aren't really into friendlies. But I said to them, if we make it into a fundraiser, this could be, more people might be interested. So I put out the idea, and then about 4 weeks ago, I think it was, I approached everyone at the game Friday night and said, look, this is what I'm thinking, this is the idea, is anyone interested? A couple of people started showing interest, so I said, right, well, I'll put it out later in the chat and see how it goes. What I didn't expect to see was 19 people within 20 minutes. And this was 19 people outside of 2 people who had said, I am definitely coming, who hadn't signed up yet. So literally within 20 minutes, I had 21 people ready to play in a fundraising game, which was absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we had 21, didn't need that many players, but the other team needed a few. You two volunteered to go
over.
So we sent some of our players over, and we held the game today. And one of the things that I'm actually on the phone for at this second is I'm talking to the lad who runs, Jamie, the lad who runs the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have a total for today.
Yeah, I've seen the total.
I've seen a total, but they
Yeah.
still needed to collect a bit since then.
Yeah.
So this is added to the total.
Right, so it's 238 was the last
Yeah.
I heard.
Oh no, it's up. So before I add in, the 238. There's still a lad that needs to pay from the other team, and there's £10 which Chris has just sent me. Literally just sent it, and Jake owes £2 for the yellow card. So that's another 12.
Jake,
Miller.
oh, because he was late. Did he actually book him?
Oh yeah, I
in?
told
Did he?
him. So just to give a little heads up, one of the lads who helps organise it and is the guy who organises our Friday night. He was originally supposed to start, but as a bit of fun, we'd all agreed that we would do a penalty for like yellow cards, £2, red cards, £4,
Yep.
so forth, so forth, just for a bit of fun. And literally, I said to the ref, I said, look, when we go on the pitch, I want you to just book him. No reason, just book him.
Well, that helped then, because when Jake come on and went, oh, sorry, ref, I'm a bit late, I went, you've got to book him for being late.
Yeah.
I
so the ref
hadn't
was
heard
already
your
getting-
You should have got booked then. For,
I didn't do this. I didn't wave my hand about. I just verbally said you should
yeah,
book it.
that's probably a booking in itself.
That's got to be a booking just for being late.
Yeah.
And the
So-
ref turned around and actually went, oh, I agree with you. But I didn't realise you'd had that conversation with
so
him
the ref
first.
was already well aware
Yeah.
that he had to book Jake for...
So,
Absolutely no
hang on,
reason.
why is it a booking when I say book Jake? But when he's telling the ref at half time to book him, you'd never said anything to him.
I don't
You
know.
fucking Michael Oliver twat, eh?
So-
Jesus Christ. Booking for me, but not for him.
Just
I see how this
what
works.
badge is on your left hip?
So all in all, the
Look at this.
pitch hire they gave us at junior rate.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So they actually deducted, it worked out at over £40.
That they took off.
Yes.
Nice.
That's quite good, actually. I didn't realise that.
We gave the ref a reduced fee as well. He took a reduced fee.
He was good, actually. I will say
He
we had
was
an
good.
under 18 ref. That's all we got told. He's under 18. And do you know what? He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He was
It
brilliant.
was a good laugh.
And we could have a bit of
Banter.
back and forth with him during the game as well, which I
Yeah,
quite
he
enjoyed.
was a really good ref. He came out of his way. He knew it was a fundraiser. He was originally going to do it for free, but due to some miscommunication, he actually turned up yesterday.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
so he technically put himself out twice, but we felt that he did a really good game, so we gave him.
Yeah, he was really
we gave
good,
him some
actually.
money. And we raised a grand total of £260,
That's good.
which
It's
is
not bad at all, really,
fantastic.
considering. It's going to do a bit for him, isn't it? So.
Absolutely. So we've raised £260 for the girls' team. Immediately after, pretty much everybody said, "Can we do this again?" Which is
Well, we did say that, like, we'd see whether or not we could
It was
make
already
it a semi-regular
it
thing.
was almost an idea that I'd already had to try and do this more often.
Yeah, because we'd spoken about it
Yeah.
before we'd even started
But
it.
the fact that everybody was already saying we should do this again without any form of prompting was fantastic. So we had a little chat at the pub. We are looking at doing something again, but we're going to try and go bigger.
Now, we did say, let's do it when the weather's warmer.
Yes. So I want to try and arrange something in the summer. We're going to have a lot more time to organise it. I want to go bigger.
Raffles and all
Stretch
sorts
is going
of
to
stuff.
know the venue I have in mind because we had it for Aaron.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going then.
So we're going to try and get that pitch.
That'd be great, actually, if we could do that. I'd be well up
And
for
keep
that.
in mind, that's the club that they are affiliated with.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel that because of the lack of support they get from that academy, because they don't get really, there's no real affiliation. I want that pitch, and I will be cheeky, and I will do what I do, and hopefully, if we don't get that one, we'll go to the next one, which is another decent pitch. But watch this space in the summer, another game. And we
if
won't
anyone,
even
if
have
anyone
another
associated
pitch.
with Macclesfield's listening, though, if you want to throw us your pitch, then
Well, I mean, if
we've
we-
already been up to
if we
Mac
could
and
get if we could get a pitch like that, it would be amazing. But again, because it's a fundraiser, we need to take as much money out, like of venues and stuff as possible. But I mean, if we could get Macclesfield or something like that as a fundraiser,
that'd be
in
amazing.
fact, Stretch, that's your mission.
I'll talk to Bob and try and
See
get
if you
the
can,
pitch.
if you see if you can cheek something. the end of the day, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but I want to make something big. I want to do something bigger. Everybody had fun. It was a great day. If we do it in the sun, bit of the summer, I think we could have a really good time.
I think it helps the fact that they, the result of the game makes them want another match.
Yeah,
The
'cause
Friday night
Friday
boys want a
boys
rematch.
Yeah.
Lost 1-0.
I mean,
It was a much tighter game than I thought it was going to be.
I don't think it was that tight. I think we controlled the game for a large majority of it. The only time you had.
I'm sorry. Right, let's get one thing straight before we get into this conversation. Tim Ribs played for the Friday night lot.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Jam and myself played for the socials.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
we'll just call them socials right. So we played for the socials. You played for Friday night lot.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you controlled the game,
Okay, so-
which to a point I agree. Certainly possession-wise, you controlled it.
So I'm going to word like
So
this. Hang
who
on.
had the best chances?
We did. Hear me out.
Were you at the same game we were?
How many saves did I make today? How many shots on target?
No.
How many shots on
What I
target?
said was who had the best chances, not who had the most shots on target.
Your keeper.
Who had the best chances.
We did.
Bearing in mind, in the first half alone, I crossed the ball and that guy, all he had to do was get his foot on the ball and you were in trouble. I'm not saying it had gone in, but you were in trouble.
didn't- Yeah.
Right, so that's a chance.
Okay.
And that's a better chance than you created all fucking game, by the way.
No.
Then I was on the edge of the box and slid their number 7 in, whose name I regrettably can't remember. Ben. Slid Ben in. He wasn't expecting it to come through to him because it went through 2 players.
No.
And so he fluffed his shot. Again, that was a better chance than you created the entire fucking game.
I disagree.
Well, where was your chance that you created?
So in the first half, Laney hit what should have been a goal, and your keeper put it over the crossbar.
Okay,
That
I
was a
forgot
good
about
save.
That was
And
a
that
decent
was
shot, to
a
be fair.
decent
And
save.
That was a
Laney
decent
had
shot.
the through, but we lost the ball off one of our chances, and they completely broke.
Yeah.
And
Laney's
and
free kick
Laney
was
moved
very,
it.
very close.
Yeah, that one just over.
Now,
Yeah.
all I had to do in the first half was that one save where he nearly caught me out.
Yes.
And that's all I had to do. The entire first half, we had 5 or 6 good moments where we should have scored, and we didn't.
And a lot of yours were from distance.
In
though,
the
weren't
second
they?
half, Miller made the keeper pull off a very good save, and your keeper had to come out and intercept and make a lot of good saves.
Yeah.
The
it's-
only time you
I
had
think-
10 minutes. 10 minutes where you had 2 go over and the goal. And that was the minute when I looked at the bench and went, why are our 3 key players on the bench at the same time?
I mean, to be fair, that was a great goal to win a game with.
It
Yeah.
was. And
He
all I'm
did that
saying is,
so well.
if that ball wasn't flat, that wouldn't have gone in.
to be fair, all we can say is we've got to blame the substitutes because we kept shouting, "Go get the decent ball," and considering
Oh,
there were
that
4
was
of them
awful.
on the sidelines and nobody went to
I'm
go
with you on
get
that.
the ball.
Even I was screaming at them to go get the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
ball.
that was crazy.
So they're still there. But that ball was flat.
Yeah,
If that ball's not flat, that's sailing over.
yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
goal, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a good
What annoyed
goal.
me most was I actually got my fingertip to it.
No, I saw you. I actually thought you were going to save it at one point.
I've got to say, on a personal note, it was nice to play 90 minutes and keep a clean sheet.
I
Cheers,
didn't get 90 minutes. I think
You
I
and
got
Nate were
I think I got
fantastic.
65 minutes.
You, Nathan,
Yeah.
and Adam were fantastic, and I was glad that you guys chose to go over. I'm glad that you guys made sure that it was competitive. I will also say, if it weren't for you 3, we'd have probably scored a lot more as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's much doubt
So-
because they did do quite well.
I do think...
I mean, Adam got injured, so to speak,
Oh,
but he
told
got
me about the
cramp.
Oh,
But
that challenge.
that challenge was so good. It was so close to an own goal as well. It only just went
Oh,
over
yeah.
the bar.
But that was a great
But
challenge.
what
So
He
put
played
a
really
slide
well
that
today,
was.
to put context in, it was any connection, the keeper's not saving it. It's
Yeah.
centre of the goal, whole goal to shoot at, and as he's hit it, Adams just comes sliding in, and literally it's hit his foot and gone over, hasn't
Yeah, it was
It was-
fantastic tackle.
how it goes over, I
Inch
don't know.
I've
perfect,
no idea.
timed to
No
perfection. So unfortunately, he went off for a little bit with cramp, but when he walked past, I was like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "It's just cramp." I was like, "Thank God,"
Just
because
cramp.
we'd already had that.
Cramp's
But we'd already
horrible.
had the one lad who twisted his knee out.
Yeah.
That looked horrible, by the way.
Yeah, it did, but there was nothing.
No,
in it.
there was no challenge.
There was
It
no
was
challenge.
just one of them. He said to me because I was talking to him
Yeah.
after it because he was a bit angry when he first.
He
went
was
out. But
angry.
then when you hurt yourself,
Yeah.
you are. But I was talking to him afterwards, and he said it wasn't. He said it's just one of them things. It was the way my foot hit the floor.
Yeah.
and then my body went the other way and it just pulled my knee. He said there was nothing that could be done about it.
The yelp told you it was.
His actual words to me was, I don't know what happened, but I've never squealed like a pig before. That's what he said to me.
Yeah.
I went, don't worry about it, mate. We all knew you were hurt at the time.
Yeah.
He went, oh, God, that's so embarrassing. I went, no, you're good.
No,
it's good. It's
when he yelled and went down, my immediate thought was, that isn't good.
Yeah, because I was thinking ACL when he went down, because he said that he come off and he's like, I'm struggling. And I said, well, can you move your foot backwards and forwards? And he went, yeah, that's no problem. I went, okay, that's something. I said, all right, stand on it. Can you twist your knee to the side, but do it fucking gently? Because if your ACL's gone, that'll pop out.
Yeah.
So just slowly move your leg to the side. And he went, and he kept moving and moving and moving. He went, it's sore, but it's okay. I went, well, at least it's not your ACL. Because I've done that and it's fucking horrible.
Well, hopefully he'll have a quick recovery.
Yeah. He reckons it was sore at the end, but nothing major. But
I think by the end, I think we'd run out of substitutions pretty much, because I think a lot of the lads had gone off hurt or
because the striker I was swapping with, he went down with something or another.
Yeah.
Yes, Scott. Sean.
I don't think it was Sean. Stu, that's the one.
That's it.
Stu.
Begin with an S.
He went down and he come off going, I'm done.
Yeah, he went down. But he sort of went down on his own weight as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because he was jostling with Jove, and as Jove pulled away from him, he just went down.
Yeah. He twisted something, something, but he come off, so I ended up going on, and then my job then was just to chase the fucking ball around your back. I felt like a pinball, going just backwards and forwards.
I have to say,
I
did enjoy baiting you in and then just...
That was really... Do you know, I got my studs on that ball that you did that.
I did it 3 times. Mate, I did it to you 3 times.
You did do it 3 times. There was only once I got my foot on it, though. The other 2 times were just really annoying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was very frustrating. But the last one that you did, I was fucking knackered by that point. I'd done that much running. I ran nearly 5 miles today, by the way.
I enjoyed winding you up with it.
I enjoyed the game as a whole. I think it was really good.
I mean, I just enjoyed it because it was one of them games where I felt like didn't really put a foot wrong at all for the game.
In fact, I think you were the one who stopped me scoring right at the end. When I came up for that corner and it come over, it skimmed whoever had come in front of me. It skimmed the head. And it took it. I felt it wisp through my head. Yeah. If you hadn't headed that, I was on. And where I was, it would have been a really hard fuck up, to be honest.
Yeah.
I fucked up from there before now, so it's possible.
It is possible.
But yeah, fair play to you, Jim Jam, then. Stopping him. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
It was great. Really had a good day.
I hope we've properly explained why it's been a shambles this week.
Yeah, well, hopefully
and why obviously the camera looks different as well.
Stop looking at the monitor.
I need to look at the actual camera.
It's because the camera was above the monitor before.
The camera was... It was a laptop we were using before, so the camera is literally directly above the screen itself. So I'm so used to looking at the screen like this that I keep forgetting that we're actually using a webcam now. So I think we'll call it there, boys. And we'll come and we'll all update people next week on our lives and see what fuck up we've made of it next week, Jim. You're all right, so you're quite happy. Your job's good. You're happy with your lady, and everything's going well. Me and you are a fucking mess at the minute.
Yeah.
So we need to get our shit together, pal.
I'm just messaging whoever and,
Messaging whoever.
Love it.
Move on.
Yeah.
Things aren't working out too well at the moment.
Listening to this podcast, isn't it?
I haven't got one at the moment, so we're all right.
No, you had 9 the other fucking week. So you haven't got one at all, have you? That's why it's a good job they're not listening to this shit. Fucking hell. Right, I think what we'll do then is we'll wrap it up this week, and we shall be with you, beautiful people, for episode 70 next week.